Cinemas is here. It's Home Alone. I'm Peter A. DeLuca, your host of AKAPAD's Audio Audacity Podcast. We're in the middle of celebrating films that celebrate the spirit, the heart, and the soul of the greatest holiday known to man. It is Christmas. Let's go. Okay, people, everyone. I had, thank you for coming back. I had one of the busiest days I've had in this 2 week stretch. And this 2 week stretch has been madness for me. The 9 to 5, we're just spinning our wheels on multiple projects and multiple assignments, so to speak. It is painful, but I'm here to deliver fresh content to all of you. And the only thing I ask for you to, pay me back is subscribe, support, leave a comment, holla at your boy on social media, and just let me know you're out there because, hey, this is episode 347, and we're still going. Hey, I always said it's going to take thousands of episodes for me to reach my goal, so I'm still in phase, 1. But everyone, Home Alone, 1990, right? We're at the beginning of the 90s. 2 years later, we get Home Alone 92. 3 years later, we get Home Alone 3. 1990, or 5 years later, 97. Everyone is always focused on Home Alone 1 and Home Alone 2. Home Alone 2 is somewhat notorious now because it features a walk-on cameo by one Donald Trump. I think the one point people leave out about that movie too is how prominent Trump Tower is when it comes to Home Alone 2. Any movie that is roughly shot around Fifth Avenue features Trump Tower. And nowadays, people just want to ignore history and kind of act like New York City and Hollywood didn't love Donald Trump at one time. It's pretty hilarious. But yeah, so created by John Hughes, big box office, and then what really happens with Home Alone 3? Because when I started scrolling through Disney Plus, Home Alone 3 was the one I was absolutely most curious about. John Hughes is involved with Home Alone 3. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what happened in 1997 to deviate them so far away from what made Home Alone. And I guess I would assume something similar happened with the next Karate Kid. Not the Karate Kid remake, the next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank, to where you optically you have all the elements. You got the title, we got similar people playing similar roles, all that stuff. Optically, it's there, but the core of the idea is too far from where it should be. They tried to be too cute and they swung for the fences and really tested the material, the concept. I believe Home Alone 3 pushes that. It really tests the concept of what Home Alone is, because we can't just remake Home Alone 1. But by Jurassic World, Force Awakens, even Tron Legacy, to the contrary, you can do that. You can effectively remake a movie, recast it, and update it. The kid from Home Alone 3 is a rock star. The kid's a good actor. The concept just fails, and the movie just doesn't carry itself at the same time. It doesn't have the Christmas spirit and doesn't have some of the hubris and the innocence of Home Alone 1 and 2. And this is what the core of the Home Alone arc is. 90-92. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, and Home Alone 1. Now, keep in mind, here's the crazy thing. When it comes to television films, there's Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House, 2002. And there's a Home Alone Holiday Heist in 2012. I gotta see those. I mean, I gotta somewhat complete this. I really want to do a Home Alone 1, 2, and 3 arc here, because I think understanding 3 You have to kind of understand more 1 and 2 to really understand why 3 doesn't work. And it's a good example. It's a good setup for that. But when it comes to the concepts and the ideas of everything that Christmas represents, through the eyes of a child, I'm not sure a film does it any better. It's not even Miracle or on 34th Street. I know that's where you were thinking. Kevin McAllister and the innocence of him. It's the idea of Christmas. It's like this discovered treasure every single time you watch that movie. And now on top of that too, we have some of the absolute best physical comedy of the 90s. We can say it's potentially, it's the end of physical comedy with Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. Physical comedy pretty much you can consider it dies with that. Benny Hill, Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin. We all know those names. Starts there and it ends in 92 with Home Alone Lost in New York. And we knock sequels. I don't understand why we knock sequels when they repeat. We knocked Hangover 2. We knocked Austin Powers. We don't like comedy sequels repeating, but we absolutely hate when they deviate, which would be Hangover 3, which is hilarious. Yeah, awesome. And it's funny. It's just funny the way how that's absorbed. Is it expectations? Is it that people want new material, but it's hard to surprise them? Comedy sequels are always a mixed bag. It's fun analyzing the potential formula for a successful comedy sequel, which is why there's few comedy franchises outside of Police Academy. I mean, we have to be very honest about that. But Home Alone, there's no movie that I would rather just sit down and watch around Christmas time. Yeah, it really Home Alone. Every time you watch either of those two movies, you just you fall into it and you just discover more and more and more and more. One of the parts I love about the sequel is how Kevin McAllister gets a little bit more respect from his family. It's awesome, and I love that they cranked up the technology part for Home Alone 2. I love that they reuse some of the same bits in Home Alone 2. Tim Curry is absolutely phenomenal as the snooty butler. It really reminds me that he graduated into that occupation from Annie. I just put those two movies together in my mind whenever I watch either of them. But yeah, and we're robbing the true success when it comes to creation when we give all the credit of Home Alone to Macaulay Culkin. Now, Macaulay Culkin will go down in absolute history as one of the very, very best. I'm not saying best childhood actors of our time, of any age. He is there at the top, okay? I mean, you might be like Haley Joel Osment or Anna Paquin piano. Nope. Combined, those two don't meet up with Macaulay Culkin. Just when it comes to impact, I don't care what the Academy dishes out. I really don't. The Academy is dead to me from Saving Private Ryan down. It really is. Hey, I mean, technically, can we argue that Lord of the Rings should have swept 3 years of the Academy Awards? I mean, we have to start that conversation. But no, again, the spirit of the holiday is within the DNA of Home Alone. It doesn't land with Home Alone 3. I wish I could recommend Home Alone 3 on some merit. But the only merit I can recommend it on at this time is its failure makes you understand why Home Alone and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York work so well. Everyone, it's the holidays. We're doing a lot of episodes. We're doing a big dump just because my life got crazy during Thanksflicking. It got crazy during Cinemas, but we are marching on. At the end of Cinemas, I will tease this. We're doing a definition episode. Okay, we're doing a stamp. I'm going to stamp the next few moves with the podcast when Cinemas is over. I was kind of hoping for it to land on episode 350 because I'll be doing the same for YouTube, and YouTube's going to land on episode 200 of that. I would love 350 and 200 to be those two episodes. Technically, maybe I could, but everyone, thanks for hanging out. I love you, and rock and roll.